Yeah. Well, we'll
Yeah.
we'll start we'll start off with that. Yo,
Okay.
folks, what's up? We are live, and we have a very special guest on today. We're going to be diving more into his program, his unique program. But my man's at I believe 111, maybe 112 now performances, and I'm honored once again to have his musical presence here. Um, Go ahead, tell us a little bit about your performance today.
All right, so this could be, I'd have to look. This could be the 115th performance. It could be the 115th performance. The last time I was with you was 111, and there've been, I believe, three since. So this could be 115. I would have to check or whatever. But anyway, it'll when this video comes out, it'll be then you'll see the number on it, whoever it is. Now, something I do sometimes is I'll put a couple of songs around the free improvisation, because the free JA thing that we're going to do right now, I'm going to make up completely. I mean, I have no idea what it's going to be. It's going to be, it could be anything. So sometimes I'll take a something in front of it and something in the back of it, and then you'll have the free improvisation in the middle. So for the front end, there's an old jazz standard. I mean, what's crazy is right now it is September in the Rain. Here, I don't know, for anyone, when whoever is watching this is going to watch it, but it's been raining all morning. I've been running around doing errands, and this song September in the Rain just came into my mind. So I'll start out with that. I will go into a free improvisation, and I might end with something like, I don't know what. It could be the Jazz Reviews poem. It could be a tune by Sting that someone asked me to play recently. Anyway, we'll figure it out. The leaves of brown came tumbling down. Remember that September in the rain. The sun went down just like a dying ember. That September in the rain. For every word of love I heard you whisper, the raindrops seem to play sweet refrain. Though spring is here to me, it's still September. That September in the rain.
You remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair hang down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love upon the fields of barley? We'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we lie in fields of gold. See the west wind move like a lover so upon the fields of barley. Feel her body rise when you kiss her mouth among the fields of gold. Never made promises lightly. There have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left will walk
Pretty cool, man. Yeah, I went from more dissonant chords into the more poppy tunes, so that was a transition. Yeah, that was cool though. Yeah, appreciate
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you never know. I mean, I was trying to make a transition from, you know, like,
it was clean. Yeah, it's cool, man. It was
it was
yeah,
really a mixture of styles because it was kind of like giving you some like regular, what is it? Swing jazz, right at the beginning,
yeah,
and then into something that had the, the meat and of avant-garde and,
yeah,
dissonance and all that stuff, which I could have gone on a lot longer in that realm because there's, that's really what I'm feeling with all of the turmoil in the world today. And then something, just something that maybe someone, I don't know,
recognize.
something that someone might identify with or whatever
Yeah,
to end it. I don't know. You just never know. Just
I
try your
think you
best.
also fused at the end too a little bit, right? Yeah, you started to go off into your
I
just a
did.
little
So,
bit, not the
right.
full, right? Yeah, but you started to touch on it, which is cool. You added your little style, so
You're absolutely
you
right.
know, that's cool. I like that.
I went into something that
Yeah,
again I could go longer in that. I
yeah,
could go off on that. See, the last I did this, what happened was someone in France contacted me and said, "I really feel you singing this song or something." It was a Brazilian girl. She married a French like a farmer in France, and she was on
yeah,
a farm. And I said, "Okay, I'll check it out," And then I the next day was a podcast, so I started out with it, and then I took off from that into those chords that you heard. So I was
yeah.
able to really do a long exploration into that world. But here I had already played so long, and I don't want your listeners to, go on another exploration. Who knows? I don't know what your listeners can handle.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Hey man, I appreciate it though. You know what I mean? I do like, feel all the chord progressions, with where it's going and it's pretty cool, man. I'm into that stuff, bro. You do very good. Yeah. I appreciate your work. So yeah, now the thing is that your work, by the way, is phenomenal and appreciate your consistency of work. And some people are not covering your work, but we're happy to have you here. Now the thing is that let's move on to talking about some other exciting ways that we're helping Julian Assange coming up. Pennsylvania, that Mia Bujamal, also the political prisoner. We're trying to work us. We're going to have some key wrongful conviction. We can consider Julian Assange to be a wrongful conviction. That's there's a lot of different political prisoner. There's a lot of different ways that we could define Julian Assange, but we have some key allies moving forward in one of the key swing states in the nation, Pennsylvania, and hopefully we'll be able to get some things kicking off with that. So we're making some forward progress. Also, we're going to try to get
So
the.
you're trying to get an event together in Pennsylvania?
Oh, they're already having one, yeah. But
Okay.
yeah. But honestly, I ran out of funds right now. So the thing is that also, what you have your own funding, right? Yeah.
Right.
We talk about that.
Are you in touch with those people in Pennsylvania, just out of curiosity? Are you in touch
Yes,
with them at all?
absolutely. Yeah, there's
Well,
actually
yeah, if
something
you
up
could
in
let them
October.
know, about this, that would be great because
I think
we
I
don't know
have.
who they
Yeah,
are. What?
Chinchilla Tunisia. You may have been on an email. I think there's a couple of emails I sent out where you're like CC'd with a bunch of other people.
If they could contact me, it would be great. You know what I mean? Because we don't know, like a lot of people, we don't know who they are because we work on the people that we're already helping. We're
Well, I
trying to
want to learn more about your organization first, right? Yeah. So the
sure.
thing is that I started looking it up, right? And I started doing the paperwork, and then I was like, oh wait. So the NFT thing, I had like seen it before. I hadn't really understood exactly what it was. I want to
Sure.
find out more about it. I think the model of having people do $5 for a ticket, I think is cool. I think that's a reasonable price for me to. I like that model, so it seems like something that could work. But what's this? And I think I'm not mad at the fact that you have one of the first or the first, was it a philanthropic NFT? So that's cool in its own right. It's historical. You were around for that time. Why shouldn't it exist? If you have them, hey, that's cool. I can't say as an investment vehicle that I believe in them or would promote them. Um, but I just want to get your take on them.
Well,
Right now, it's gonna be
absolutely.
controversial. So go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would want to say, because um, I like to hear that let's expose some of the negatives. And I think you are onto some of the negatives of crypto and NFT. Go ahead and, tell the audience the negatives because there are plenty of them. So, I mean, go ahead.
Okay. So for this digital device, for this digital object to be existing, it has on the blockchain, resources like electricity need to keep it going. This is environmentally not necessarily the best thing. It's not the worst thing either. We already have a lot of digital objects, right? You have a digital email address, right? You can have paper email. So, there are some positives to digital objects already exist. So it's not the worst thing, but also these things are also tied to Ethereum, NFTs. Doesn't have to be, but usually they are, depending on. And I'm not trying to find out if your thing has a backing with there. About to find out. So, what is this whole? What's your?
Well, I'm glad to talk to you about it, but like I said, it's a good thing to get the negatives right out in the open. I mean, it seems like one of your main concerns about that whole thing is the possibility of the usage of electricity to mine cryptocurrency. NFTs are not mined, but
Yeah, no,
and I agree. I 100% agree. I have no problem with that. However, I think, like, because I saw you do a show where you were looking into some stuff about Jazz for Peace, and I thought, like, I didn't think you were able to, like, I could tell you better than what you could find or what you could uncover. Basically, what we use NFTs for, and so I don't know what you were thinking. I think what I tell you, my answer is gonna be a little different than what you might think.
no, I wanted to find out.
What we use NFTs for mainly because we don't really know all the uses of NFTs or crypto. I don't know if anybody really does. There was a guy named Stefan Molyneux who I think got deplatformed and this and that, but he was a guy who used to put out a lot of videos, and you could tell he was a very intellectual man and well thought out. And he put out a video that talked about the blockchain itself and how that was here to stay, the blockchain, as a technological innovation. So that I found impressive. The NFT and crypto thing is kind of in its infancy, but here's me personally, what I've noticed that could be a positive with NFTs. Let's start there. One, it could be a positive as a collectible. You follow me? So
Yeah,
you can put something on. Now, mostly NFTs are for supposed art, and you hear about these auctions of NFTs and people who buy them for all this money and stuff. I don't, to be honest with you, I can't vouch for any of that. I don't, it's you don't know, like, what is that? What is that world? It's almost as strange as the art world itself, right? I mean, isn't the art world kind of strange with, a Van Gogh? Here's a guy, Vincent Van Gogh, right? He didn't sell a painting his whole life, right? The only guy that ever supposedly bought a painting and he was so happy that the guy bought it, he found it in his brother's house. It was his brother who bought it. You know what I mean? So, and his brother was the displayer of his collection. So his brother in others, his brother didn't want to tell him he sold no paintings, so he sold one, There's issues with paintings that are there's all kinds of crazy stuff that goes on in the world of art, and it's very strange to me that these people that were not compensated during their lifetime, right, are now in the hundreds of millions of dollars, to compensate who, I don't know. The head of MoMA, I was talking to a well-known attorney in this town who's in the art world, blah, blah, blah. And I said, it must be, they think they're volunteering his services. I said, look it up. The guy gets paid $1.2 million a year just to oversee the president of MoMA. And they have a board and they have this and they have that. You know what I mean? $1.2 million a year. How much did all of the art in there did those artists make in their whole lifetime? You know what I mean? It could be less than he makes in 1 year. All of them together combined. I don't know. But the NFT, the art thing, honestly, I don't really understand it. I don't really participate in it. But what I'd like you to do is take a look at our NFTs if you're able to be online. I believe you can go to OpenSea. Do you know that site?
Okay, I can look it up. But
go
okay,
ahead.
So out of the tickets of the $5 that they collect, right, for this fundraising, like, are those put in?
I don't know where you got I'm not sure where you got those tickets from. I'm not sure. That might be something else you saw, but it wasn't Jazz for Peace. We've never used NFTs. We have never used NFTs for tickets. You can use it for that.
Okay.
It's a possible use.
Oh, interesting.
We haven't. So, like, what I'm going to tell you about NFTs is kind of limited, but it's what we do. Okay, we have the
So the
poster.
grant, when if
What?
the grant is received, are the grant received in NFTs or are they received in
It's
cash?
not.
Yeah.
It's actually not. It's actually
Okay.
not. So let me tell you what the grant is. Okay, this is
Okay.
the grant, and what we hopefully people think it's better than a monetary award. That's what we hope. But you're welcome to think whatever you want. But this is what some of our recipients have told us, and this is what some people have told us. What the grant is, and that's listed, by the way, at jazzforpeace.wordpress.com. If you went to that site, you just scroll down a little bit. It says something like the essential component. You go ahead. The essential components of this grant.
Okay. jazzforpeacewordpress.com.
Yep.
Okay.
And then scroll down a little bit. You'll see 1, 2, and 3, which are things to click on, which are important, but I don't want to click on them yet. I want to get right to this point. Scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the essential components of this grant. Do you see that?
Okay. jazzforpeacewordpress.com.
jazzforpeace.wordpress.com.
Okay, I'm
And
trying to go there now. It's loading now.
it's loading good. You should be able to scroll down just a little bit, not too far, and you'll see big bold letters, the essential components of this grant.
Okay, wait a second. Okay, I'm going to share the screen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I learned how to do that. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay, so now.
All right.
Yeah.
Now that's a great, by the way, that's a great video. That's a great video. And you can watch it at your leisure. That came out in 2014, and you wouldn't believe the stuff that's on there. It's wild. Yeah. Now people say, just so you know, people say, "Oh, why are you starting your video out with rock music?" This is somebody's radio show. And
Yeah, no, I think I did watch this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his theme song for his radio show. What am I going to do? I can't change his theme song. You know what I mean?
That's
That's
cool.
his
What's
show.
wrong with
It's
rock
his theme
music?
song. All I did was I took visual things and put them behind the things I said so that people could see what I was saying. That's all I did. It was an audio radio interview. Took place in 2014. And I just, you see it. Look at all those pictures. What you're scrolling through, you see all that stuff?
Yeah, I've seen all this.
That's our history. You see, that's me in Africa.
Cool,
These are, and that's almost 10 years ago. So
anyway, all over the world.
Here you go. See that? The essential components of this grant.
You did India too. I think China maybe?
Yeah, it starts out in India. No, but go back up to the essential components. Okay. You see it right there. You see that guy? No, you see that cartoon character? Scroll down a little bit. See the cartoon character, or look right next to him. The essential components of this grant. You see it? All right. Yeah. Now, it should say number A should be this grant offers a world-class cultural event at no cost to you. Okay. That's a lot, right? Right or wrong? You tell me.
That's great. We might actually be able to get a National Action Network. I just heard that they're renting out their space. We might be able to have a concert there. You know what I mean? And we could have one.
This is what I'm telling. This is what we've been doing, Elf. This is what we've been doing. So this is one now. A world-class cultural event at no cost to you. That's one. That's a lot. I don't know anybody even offering that. Okay. I would welcome them. I'd welcome 1,000 people offering what we offer. I'd love it. Okay. But that's number one. But that's Elf. That's less than half of what we offer. I mean,
I'm gonna apply for this right now.
At best, you could say, okay, that's half of it. Let me tell you what the other half is. The other half is listed at B. Okay. The other half is, you can read it right there. I can't read it too well, but basically, if I was described off the top of my head, the other half is the ascent. Okay. Look, the vital staffing, experience, advocacy, and event coordinating expertise and guidance necessary to grow those 7 branches of the empowerment tree that I'll be happy to look at with you. That, in other words, the staffing, the experience, the advocacy, the expertise, and guidance to make the event a success. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
Because listen, Alf, you can give somebody a world-class cultural event and watch them screw it up, right? Because they might not know anything about events.
That's fair. That's fair.
A lot of the people that we've helped never had one event. They never even had an event. A lot of them never had an event. So if we hand them an event, they're not going to know what the hell to do with it. They're not going
You
to
know what?
know
I
how
get
to
that.
make it
I
a
get that.
success.
I get that. It
Yeah.
could happen.
So
Yeah.
that other component that we offer is extremely big. It could be bigger than the first part, is my point. Okay. I don't know the ratio. Let's just, for ease of use, let's say half is the world-class cultural event and half is everything it takes to make it a success. But that's at best. So that other 50% is big, because when you look at our testimonials, you see people that describe the helpful step forward that they received from these events. And a lot of them wouldn't have if we just threw them the event. You know what I mean? Hey, you guys get it all together, we'll show up. You know what I mean? No.
It's gonna
I'm
happen right
telling
here
you.
in New York City. So I think that's good. So
Yeah. So, and that shit does not work. You can't just tell somebody who never had an event before,
fair.
to all of a sudden overnight be an expert. So that's important that we provide. And why do we provide it? Because we've done so many events. So we know all the ups and downs, all the crazy things that can happen. I mean, how many things can go wrong. Am I right?
Yeah.
You've been involved in events. There's so many things that can go wrong. People, how many of them get canceled, right? Or when they do happen, it's a nightmare, all that stuff. So we are there to try our best to make it a success. And the reason it is a success is because it might fail in 3 or 4 areas, right? Okay. But we've got 7 branches. So if you succeed at a couple of those branches, you have given that outstanding cause a helpful step forward. And that's really all we promise. But it's a lot, because people need a helpful step forward. Okay. A lot of people are treading water and going backwards.
Okay. So I just want to make clear, at what point do the NFTs get involved here?
Well, I'll be honest with you. We're trying to get them involved only as an addition. And I noticed that you kind of noticed that when you were doing your research, you came across something that says this is an add-on. This is not replacing anything. It's not, you follow me?
Okay. I just want to be sure. Just want to be absolutely sure.
Okay. Absolutely. No problem. I have no problem with that at all. We would like to explore how NFTs, the blockchain, cryptocurrency, could be an addition to what we already have. Now, those testimonials and all that stuff you've read, none of those people are talking about that side of things, because none of them were received any benefit from that. We didn't even have a cryptocurrency, and we didn't even mint an NFT. You follow me?
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, wait. Wait.
We have now. Oh,
yeah. You have the first. I actually want to ask, could I have one? You have the first philanthropic NFT. I mean,
well, no. I mean, so let me show you. Let me tell you.
How do you guys give those things? Do you guys give them away? I don't know. Do you sell them? How does that work?
Well, we want to give them away to grant recipients. You follow me?
I just want one, just to have one, because it's cool. I don't know. How do you guys give them away? Do you guys give
all right? All right. So here's the thing.
What packages do you give?
Yeah. So let me explain it. Okay.
Okay.
What we want to do is we want to give them away for free to grant recipients, just as a bonus on their, cool. You know what I mean? Just as a bonus, because as you pointed out, there's no guarantee of value with any of these things, right? I mean, we know that Bitcoin went from 0 to a zillion, but I mean, there was no guarantee. I was there
during that era too. Like, those things appeared during our era. I mean, it's kind of like a piece of history. It's kind of cool, man. Like,
right, it is. Listen. I mean, I don't care what anybody else thinks. I think that they could help me make a bigger and better difference for outstanding causes. Now, let's just say you're, want to have one or whatever. We do have that available. And what you would do if you just wanted to have a Jazz for Peace, cryptocurrency, there's 2 things you can do. One is you can go to jazzforpeace.org and click on the exchange called Mint Me. And on this Mint Me exchange, there is some Jazz for Peace cryptocurrency for sale for someone who's not a grant recipient. And that's a good thing because that leads us to believe that they do have value already when
How much
people
does it
buy
sell
them
for?
off the exchange.
If you don't mind me asking, how much is it selling for right now?
You can buy them right now for, I believe they're trading for between $1.06 and $1.07 per token.
Now, right now, the market is hurting NFTs real bad, right? Or is it is it pretty stable?
It kind of goes between $1.06 and $1.07. Okay. But I'm not guaranteeing you anything. You know what I mean? I'm not guaranteeing. I have no guarantee. But but that is what they're going for. I mean, somebody could go to that Mint Me exchange and buy like 10 of them for, I guess, whatever they're selling off the exchange. I think it would cost like $11 for 10 of them. I'm guessing.
I'm getting one. I'm getting one. I'm getting one.
You could do that. You can go to that exchange and get one just for your fun, just for the hell of it.
Just to have one.
Right. But what we want to do,
I'll get one for free too. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, here's the thing. I mean, I don't have the liberty. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like here's the thing. Now we're getting to something that of value that I want to talk about. With the blockchain, you can make rules as to how a currency is distributed. Okay. Yeah. So you can program that this currency is only for philanthropic purposes. You follow me? In other words, you can't use that money to pay off, I'm saying, the person, Jazz Rapice can't use it, In other words, it can only be used for gives to someone for philanthropic use. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by the first philanthropic cryptocurrency. So you can actually program rules like that into the blockchain. You see what I mean? Now, if those rules are programmed in there, then you can't use it to buy a ticket to a Yankees game. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, well.
So that's how you can use it for philanthropic use. And what we want to do, because we know that some people want to just have one for fun, for collecting, so you can do that on the Mint Me exchange. But what we really want to do is we want to give them to people that have completed those 3 steps to become, to have a Jazz Rapice event.
Is there any really type of like documentation that establishes this token as the first NFT, the first philanthropic NFT in history? Because it could be.
Honestly,
yeah, a long time.
Well, honestly, I haven't researched every freaking token on the planet, right? But no one has come forward, and they're welcome to do so. No one's come forward and said, hey, so-and-so, kitty cat coin or something was for philanthropic use. I mean, they'd be welcome to do so. But, people, who the hell thinks of philanthropy when in cryptocurrency? I mean, that's not what they're thinking about,
When is this thing? When was it created?
It was created. The date of that is on Etherscan. I don't have the exact date, but a couple of years ago, only a few years ago. Okay. It can't be more than 3 years ago, but it could even be less. The date, all that stuff may
exist in another format, yeah, because there's a lot of different formats. So okay.
Well, we're not really using it. Like I said, we're not really using it. I'm trying to.
Well, this new NFT thing is actually blocked by the Ethereum, so this is actually right. It actually is a newer thing.
Well, let me explain something. Okay, let me explain something. Now, the cryptocurrency is on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay.
Yeah. When did that happen?
The reason Ethereum is such a big deal is because it uses the blockchain for you to create things like NFTs, but not all NFTs are created on Ethereum. There's something called Polygon.
Are you on Ethereum?
What?
Are you on Ethereum?
Well, so the NFTs, there's a few that are on Ethereum, and there's a few that are on Polygon, which has no fee, Polygon. Now, if you went to OpenSea and you typed in Jazz for Peace, you would see some of the different NFTs. You could type, there's two things you can type in. One is Jazz for Peace with no spaces, and the other one is Jazz for Peace with spaces.
Okay.
And here's what I think the NFTs are useful for. One, I think they're great for documentation. And those documents could become collectibles. So, in other words, the very first flyer for the concert we played at the United Nations, the very first, the jazz, yeah, perfect. Go to OpenSea. Now, go to search. There's a search. There should be a search bar. Is that the search bar? Okay. Try that. I think it's FOR. I don't think it's 4. I think it's FOR. Okay. Yeah, that's one. That's one of them. So that'll take us to some of them. Okay. Now, which ones is that? All right. So look, there it is. The first, see that flyer? All right, cool. This is cool. That flyer, well, you can see it all the way over to your right. Yeah, that's the first. That's the flyer from our concert at the United Nations that united Israeli, Palestinian, and American jazz musicians.
Cool.
Now, I think it's a collectible because I don't know. There's only one flyer like that in the world. It could be a collectible. It could be worth value. I don't know. I believe like maybe 5 of them were minted or something like that. And I like it because it's a place where somebody can see that who doesn't even know about it. You know, you could send them the link and they could look at it or something like that. So it's a great,
Cool.
Yeah. Now, if you go back, you'll see a few other ones. Okay. Now go down. This is an article. Check out this article. Okay. So there's a few of those minted. You can see, but check out this article in the middle. Yeah. Click on that. Let's see what that is. All right. That's an article that has the Jazz for Peace poem. And this was even before the United Nations. This is leading up to the first Jazz for Peace concert. And you should be able to see the Jazz for Peace poem in there. We had to mint 2 of them because one only has 1 page and one has 2 pages. Scroll down a little bit and see if that's only 1 page. Is that it? No, let's see. No. Oh, yeah, that's it. Bummer. There's another one that has 2 pages. I'll show you that on the other site. Anyway, this has the jazz. I don't know if it has a Jazz for Peace poem. I don't know. It should. In that article was the Jazz for Peace poem, and also was what's this one? There's another one. What's that? This one. Click on that one. There's the one with 2 pages. Okay, so this was minted to include everything. All right. This article has, I don't know if how big you can make it, but so you can see the writing. That article has the Jazz for Peace poem. The first time was, in fact, that has the first publication of that poem ever, because I had written it. I had written it on September 11th, and this article came out on like October 2nd, or I don't know. The date's on there. It also has a sentence that got lifted. Are you able to make it bigger? The text?
No, I'm sorry, that's not.
What a bummer.
Sorry, buddy.
You can see it though, right? Can you see where it says the poem? It should be on.
What?
If you can,
that our attitude must have been for some time while as long. Is that what it is?
No, it should be like it should
we need
be
to accept our misgivings and some things we've done that we may not have been.
That's me talking. And as I'm talking, I say, when we fill our souls up with creativity, artistry, we'll have a better chance at avoiding the behavior that leads to destruction. That's the sentence that got lifted from that article.
I don't see it on the second page. Maybe it's on the first page.
Yeah, it's probably on the first page. And it should be, here is Rick's poem somewhere on the first page. It's probably on the first page.
Oh, yeah, here it is. I see it. Yeah.
All right. What do you see?
I hear Jazz for Peace.
Yeah, that's the poem.
The trees. And in my heart, it fills me like a
celebration.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a little bit small. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, but I do see it now. Okay.
All right. So that article was the first article to ever publish the Jazz for Peace poem. that basically was written on 9/11. I recited it at the Savannah Jazz Festival on the 26th or 25th of that month. And then a few days later, this guy calls me with a tape recorder I didn't even know, and he captures it and puts it out in this article. Now, also in this article is a sentence that I just said off the top of my head. If we fill our souls with creativity, artistry, intellectuality, things of that nature, we will have a better chance to avoid the behavior that leads to destruction. Are you able to see that in there? It's in there.
Yeah.
You see it?
Okay, yeah.
All right. That got lifted by famous quotes websites.
Cool.
And now, if you type in Rick Delarada famous quote, hundreds of websites come up in all different languages all over the world with just that sentence.
Crazy.
Rick Delarada famous quote. It's from that article.
Oh yeah, I think I saw this. Yeah. I think
You see it? It's everywhere. I found it in Russian and Lithuanian. It's in all languages. It was lifted from that. I didn't even know I said that because I didn't remember what I said off the top of my head, you know?
Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah, so that's why that article has some relevance, you know?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Now, I don't know how these NFTs, I don't know how people bid on them and buy them and sell them, but they do. And it could be something that we could use to help an outstanding cause raise funds as well at some point if it were to increase in value. Do you see what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Yeah. So my point is, we're crazy not to explore the avenue. You know, you don't know what it's going to lead to. I have no idea. But I think that's relevant. So I minted it. I minted it and put it there so that people can see things that we think might be worth value at some point to help outstanding causes or for any reason. But the cryptocurrency as well, because it's the only philanthropic. I don't know. I mean, who would be people don't make. I mean, that generosity doesn't really exist. I mean, that's why I think we're the world's first philanthropic cryptocurrency, because I look at these cryptocurrencies and these people don't look like. I don't see Mother Teresa making a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy field, so that's why
it's a crazy field. It's got a lot of fraud.
Skepticism, right? Yes.
You think Sam Bankman-Fried is going to mint the world's? You know what I mean? He's not going to beat me to that.
Yeah, look at his parents were. Like it's just such a crooked world. So
right,
very cautious.
So, in all of that crookedness, we have created the world's first philanthropic cryptocurrency. Now, what happens with that, we don't know, but we are hoping that these NFTs, like you see here, and the cryptocurrency will be an addition to what we've already done. Now, when you go to Jazz for Peace testimonials, like I said, the testimonials are raving, and they're from the people that we helped, and they insist that I did make a difference for them. So this would be in addition to that.
Yeah. Honestly, you could keep you could go to a artist show and you could keep the ticket stubs. And I remember some people did that, but just being myself over the years, and I don't want to sound like a shill here, you know what I mean? But it's cool to have some memorabilia that you could hold on to that exists in a digital space that you don't have to worry about losing, breaking, damaging. I've had like CDs, tapes from some of my favorite albums. I don't got them no more, you know what I mean? But I'm not trying to really get 10 of them. I mean, I'm not mad at people. DJs always got doubles. I'll just get one though. You know what I mean? But it's cool to be a part of history. So I'm not against it. Like I don't want to sound like a shill.
Right.
But I'm down to have one. I'm down to be part of history. And the best, it could go right. I'm not against the finance people either. If you want to play that game.
Right. I mean,
I'm not. Yeah. But
like I said, all of these there's nothing wrong with. Here's the thing. Once a person has a confirmed event with Jazz for Peace.
Oh, I plan on using that. Hell yeah. It sounds like I could use that help. Yeah.
Well, I've shown you're actually you're at letter B of the ABC steps. I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah.
you're ever going to get to letter C because I don't think you've reviewed it and read
Well, I
it.
didn't know. I thought there would be like tickets, and I thought like they would all get like NFTs or something. I just wanted to make sure what was going to come out at the other end. So
Well,
yeah,
listen, what you have to do to complete those 3 steps, right?
okay,
You sent in an amazing comment, right? That's all you need for letter A, okay?
okay,
Letter B, we put that comment into a 1-page for you to edit to your liking. Once you have that edited to your liking, then you have to share it with all the people that you want to be the VIPs at this event.
yeah,
And
I
they
get
have to take a look at it and give us their honest. We need honesty. We just want their honest comment. Hey, I like what Jazz for Peace has done, and I'm willing to take a flyer that maybe they can do some good work here in this event for such and such. Could be anything. I don't care. I just want their honest opinion. That's all. I just want honesty.
it.
So that completes letter B. You see what I mean? But that's
Yeah,
you'd have to complete that step.
okay, sounds fair to me. I'm down.
And you'd have to like basically just get together with me and say, hey, Rick, let's go over this thing. I want to complete the step and I'll get you ready so that you can complete that step. But it's an easy ABC steps that have to be completed. And now you have the world-class cultural event at no cost to you. Now we have to make it a success. That's the other component. You see what I mean? Making that a success. So we are here with you all the way through. And part of making that success is sharing all of the stuff we've learned along the way to see if some of it might be good for your event, And this is what we've done with many organizations. We said, hey, so what do you think? Well, we were thinking of blah, blah, blah. Well, okay. Well, here's an event we did in Little Rock where there was a silent auction and we show it to them. Yeah, that would be great. Or no, that wouldn't be. We see what they say, and we just try these different things. Yours could be an event where we do something with NFTs. Maybe every VIP gets an NFT. Maybe every VIP gets cryptocurrency. I don't know. Whatever helps. What we want to do is see what can make the event a success.
Okay, so I'm interested. Yeah, we'll talk further. And yeah, I think it's I really appreciate the opportunity, man. It seems like
Yeah, I
worth
mean,
exploring.
your next step would be to take that 1 page and look at the words and see how, click on the links, make sure you know what it says, and shape it the way you think your people that you would be inviting to be the core VIPs. That's the roots of the tree. That's why when you put that up, it was a tree, because these roots, these VIPs, whoever they are the roots of this whole thing. You know what I mean? Knowing that they're coming is very helpful when you get sponsors. It's helpful when you get a venue. It's helpful on all the other steps. You see what I mean? Knowing that you have the support on hand of people who are going to attend this event. Absolutely.
Sounds good.
So the other thing now about NFTs that I would like to show you is documentation, and this gets into whistleblowing a little bit. Okay, so you can type in, instead of Jazz for Peace with no spaces, try Jazz for Peace with spaces. Jazz space for space peace. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Try
yeah.
that and see what comes up there.
Okay. I'm gonna share this with my screen.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, this is where we get into some stuff that there's not too many people around there other than you that are willing to talk about. But unfortunately, okay, so these are other NFTs that are under that. Now let's look. I don't think we have very many, but okay, so yeah, we have that again. We have that stuff. Okay, we have that stuff. This might be Polygon, the other network, Polygon or something. I wonder if it's on. Let me just see. Is this all we have? Oh, this is Ethereum. These things are on Ethereum and the other ones are not. Okay, scroll these down a little bit. Let's see what this has. I think it might be the other one that has the. Okay, so it looks like this only has. Is that it? Scroll down anymore. Is there anything below that? Wow. Okay, and scroll down below that. Anything?
That's it.
All
That's
right.
fine.
You know what? The other one I want to show you is actually on the other site, which is Jazz for Peace without any spaces. Yeah, it's the one without any spaces. All right, let's see if it's on. It should be on there, unless. All right, so yeah. Wow. Um. What a well. What a. Okay. So wow. See it? The hypocrisy. Look, there's two things. Top 50 venues in the world perform. All right. So this is gets into. All right. This gets into something that I think is very important that we discuss, and that is, right now, um, I think what's going on is the one world order is hurting us into a single, you know what I mean? A worldwide digital, you know what I mean? We're being kind of herded into something.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that they want to justify it comes from a Dostoevsky novel. Are you familiar with this guy, Dostoevsky?
Sounds vaguely familiar, but
He's
why
an
don't you remind?
amazing guy. He wrote some of his greatest work when he was in a concentration camp in Siberia. He was placed in a concentration camp, and he wrote these books. One of the books is called The Brothers Karamazov, and in there is a chapter where Jesus comes back to Earth and he gets arrested and jailed
Okay.
because human nature, okay, there's a certain freedom that says, hey, I want to be able to I want to have my choice to do something, whether it's right or wrong,
Correct.
and uh they the people that want to control people, they to justify it, they want to say, well, you know what, these people, they shouldn't have the right anyway because they're a bunch of fuck ups, they'll choose the wrong thing, you know what I mean? And the problem is, a lot of us do have the right choice and the wrong choice, and we choose the wrong one, right? We choose to do that which is, you know, the bad, the not cool thing. Okay. Now, in this one, and one of the reasons we do it is because we don't think anybody cares, right? So nothing's going to happen. We're not going to get caught. This is someone that stole the Jazz for Peace name, and it's very well documented. And the reason this NFT is called the hypocrisy nobody cares about is because nobody really cares enough to call them out on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is the same problem that you've mentioned with the good work that you do, where, you should be included in certain things. And those people that are fighting for that should be including everyone on the team, But when they don't and nobody cares, the problem just lingers on. And this was a situation here. If you scroll down a little bit, there's like a description. You can actually see this organization putting on a Jazz for Peace event. All right, look at those links. You can actually see this organization putting on a Jazz for Peace event without Jazz for Peace. Just stealing the name. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I see it right here. Yeah, actually, I brought up
Yeah,
in another
you
window.
can click, and we have it very well documented. And the crazy thing is, okay, they're located in Boston, and we did numerous events in yeah, there it is right there. See it?
I see that. Yeah. Wow, they
Yeah,
use it multiple times, and they even use it in quotation marks.
there you go.
Like they even put it in quotation marks right there. Yeah,
There you
like
go.
they own that property.
Right,
Wow.
right. And you know what? This goes on all the time to all kinds of people. Uh,
Well, that some people, the law only serves some people.
It does, because first of all, a lot of times they're like, well, we'll just do it and make them come sue us, right?
Yeah.
Because now, in order to
Protect their brands. Yeah,
get justice, Alf, you've got
yeah,
to you've got to drop everything you're doing, right? All your good work comes to a halt while you put together this, that, and the other, and pay attorneys' fees and spend all kinds of money and put all kinds of energy and time. You see what I mean?
yeah,
That is a double victimization. You see what I mean?
yeah. And if you don't, you can be considered to be possibly, not protecting your brand, and then you
That's
lose the work.
right. So now if you don't do
So
it,
now you're like under pressure, like
well, guess
you
what? If you don't do anything, they say, well, then he must he must not believe that, you know what I mean? He must want everyone to use his name. You see what I mean? So, but look at this NFT. This NFT captures these people red-handed. Now, nobody gives a shit, but the fact of the matter is they are captured. And if they ever try that shit again or whatever, this all their shit is documented. You see what I'm saying?
on the blockchain.
Yeah. So that is a possible use. I mean, look, it's a great thing for me to have been able to use, because instead of taking these guys to court and spending all kinds of money, and where would we get the money? We can't ask our donors. You know what I mean?
So, okay, so quick question, right? The thing is that for this thing to exist, right, someone has to kind of maintain it, right? Like, I guess is this being kept alive? The record of this is being kept alive by Ethereum. Who's paying the storage fee for this information?
I believe whatever fee you pay to mint it, that is final. And there's no storage. You're not paying anything. You don't pay
It
any
goes on
storage.
the blockchain. So once it's on the
Yeah,
blockchain
because
and there's a ledger, it's on the ledger. Then as long as that
yes,
ledger exists,
this
yeah,
exists on the ledger, and it's all captured in one area. You see what I'm saying? So that nobody has to go searching for records. If a piece of paper, there's a fire or something gets thrown out, some girlfriend throws your shit out of her apartment, you know what I mean? And it gets in the rain. You know what I'm talking about? There's a million ways documents can get destroyed and all that. This is a done deal. These are here. Now, there could be a problem if the
blockchain
website,
goes down.
well, like we had to archive these things. Now, it's funny. This is still available online because they don't even know that I did this. So they didn't even bother to take this offline. But we have this archived. So even if they take it offline, we have it archived on the Jazz for Peace, platform. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think they said they're gonna take down what is it called? There's that website that's been logging like Internet Archive or something. You know what I'm talking about? Wayback Machine.
The Time Machine, are they going to do that?
Wayback Machine. They said yeah that might be taken down.
Wow.
So
And why? Why? Because they want it, because so
there's
many people
probably
got caught.
funding or maybe pressure. Who knows? But I think that just how are they gonna fund like taking care of a program like that? Who's gonna pay for that? All the advertisers will try to destroy Wayback Machine. They don't want records of embarrassing stuff about their product.
Well,
Out there.
that is the problem. But see, what you have to realize, Elf, is that as soon as something becomes profitable,
Exactly. Yes.
it turns into a cost of doing business.
Yep.
Okay. So all of this stuff that goes on, okay, that these corporations do. I mean, what do most of these corporations do, right? You heard
Even
about
people
it
do it.
from,
Yeah.
let's say, I forgot that woman, they made a movie about her or whatever, but some company would go and dump tons of hazardous material in some little town in Mexico, right? All these people would get deformed babies and all that, right?
Yeah.
When those suits got settled, yeah, they paid out some money, but it was a percentage of the money they made. Right? So if you make $100 million destroying somebody's land because you didn't have to pay the normal rate of disposal, right? So you make 100 million. What if you only pay those people 10 million? Now it's a $90 million profit. So
That's
what's going to
yeah.
stop those people? That's all they do at those board meetings is sit around. What's our most profitable thing? And someone's going to say, well, the most profitable thing we did was when we polluted those people and then they sued us and we only had to give them 1/10 of what we made. Wow, let's do that again. Where can we find another town? You know what I mean? So that's what's
Yeah.
going on. So in this instance, I was able to, here's the other problem. That thing says the hypocrisy no one cares about. It's a series. That's number one. That's what is it? Volume 1, number 1, right? You know how many of those things I could put up if I wanted to? I could put up, and then what would I be? I'd be surrounded and all by a bunch of people that just wanted to, do away with me because I exposed them. I mean, that's not what I went into music to do. I mean, I had to put that up because they stole the name outright. But there are tons and tons. We are like drowning in hypocrisy right now.
Yeah, it's a tough business, the music entertainment business in general. People get muscled around, so just it is what it is. Yeah,
And it's all over the place, and it's
yeah, having all
systemic.
that. Yeah,
It's absolutely systemic.
yeah. Well, hey, congratulations to you for taking it on, and best of luck to you in terms of taking on Boston. I mean, it's I don't know why they couldn't just figure out something else out, or just give you some.
All they had to do was contact me like other people do and say, "Hey, we heard about this Jazz for Peace thing. Can we work together with you for Jazz for Peace Boston?" And I would have said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
That's what happened in Las Vegas. There was a guy using the name Jazz for Peace, and we contacted him and said, "Hey, listen, see this letter from, such and such and so. See this. This is we've been doing, And he said, "You know what? No problem at all." And we did an amazing event with him in Las Vegas, Jazz for Peace. But of course, I performed at
Great.
it and I worked together with him. We did everything that we normally do. And it's a great event. It's on jazzforpeace.org/Vegas. And this amazing event that we could have done with them. We could have done it with them. Instead, they sat there and watched me come to Boston like 7, 8, 9 times, right? Came to Boston, and we'd send them the information because they're part of a radio station. And we just thought that they were announcing it, or maybe they weren't announcing it, but if they didn't announce it, is because they didn't even think of it. I don't know what they're thinking. Who knows what they're thinking? We didn't realize that they were purposefully not announcing it so that they could steal it later.
Yeah, I've heard of WGBH. These people are the biggest names, and they just feel like they get to muscle everybody else around. They do have the mayor there, so yeah, it's just unfortunate. There's just there needs to be accountability, right? And even the groups that say they're about whistleblowing and stuff like that, right? We could see that people that are out here that are the little people get smushed on and stepped on, and if it's okay for these people to be part of the the movement, but it's not okay for them to replace us. So you got to ask yourselves, like, you got to protect the local artists, right? Like my man.
They wanted to take that name and completely replace me as if I didn't even exist.
You're not a cog in the machine, man. You're a human being, man, and the artist, and the unique artist, and one that I appreciate. Yeah. So that's wild, man. All right. Well, thanks for laying that clear. Yeah. I do plan
Right.
on. Yeah.
So I'm telling you, what when I see something positive with a platform, I don't care about all the negative because I don't have to do the negative. I don't have to, make some crypto design, virtually and then put it up on, whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't see that. But I saw this way of, you see how it's documented? I mean, for anyone who does care, and I call it the hypocrisy nobody cares about, because if anybody did care, they'd get screwed. You know what I mean? But people don't care. But if anybody did care, there it is right there. It's all there for you to see with your very own eyes. And I hate to say it, it's not the only one. And I'm not the only one. That's the thing. There are so many people getting, having this happen. I mean, you can go all the way back to Bill Gates. And who was that guy that created Windows?
You know what? I also have some interactions with other artists, right? Being a street artist myself and just being around like studios and stuff like that. There's some people that like to use DistroKid and some of these other distribution platforms. As a musician yourself, with your own following, with your own music, how do you feel about musicians becoming more independent? And maybe NFTs are a way for you guys to kind of like circumvent the music industry, or not really. The music industry still taking your publishing, or how does that work? Like, just as an artist, what's your take on the whole situation?
Listen, I mean, we don't do this, but there are people that are somehow able to sell their music online as NFTs. I showed you last time an NFT that we did, And again, for documentation purposes, that was to gain attention for some stuff going on in Kenya, that Kenya musicians had contacted us and sent us videos and all that. And I think I showed you that last time. I don't know. Did you see that?
Yeah, you did an event in Kenya. I saw like yeah, you've done
Okay.
it several like around the world actually, not just in Kenya, also in India, right? Yeah.
Well, no, the India thing was an event that we did to help an outstanding cause in India. That was a separate thing. But a few months ago, a Kenyan musician contacted us and said, "Hey, can you please get some awareness for what's going on?" And we said, "What's going on?" And they said, "Look at this video. They're firing on the people. The government was firing on citizens." And they had it. So we have an NFT, and I know I sent that to you and you looked at it for a second. I mean, I could probably get that to you in a second.
And the NFTs like recording what's going on over there in like in that country.
Yes, and I gotta see where that NFT should be on one of those two platforms. I'm gonna look.
Oh, so this is like a series of different activist NFTs.
Yeah, well,
Interesting.
oh my goodness, I gotta see where that is. Wait a minute.
I'm going to OpenSea right now.
Yeah, it's got to be on one of those.
Wouldn't it be linked from your? Don't they have a way for these NFTs to link to each other?
Well, it should be in the collection, and I just have to see where I have this NFT. Um, all right,
Yeah,
let me
I'm not really. I've never really been into the NFT, so I don't really know so much about it. Yeah, I see this one's on Ethereum. Okay. So yeah.
let me see something. Wow. Um, it should be in. Well, what's this? Oh, this is. Oh, I think I deleted something by accident. Okay, this can't be deleted. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully I might have found it. Let's see. Oh man.
It's all good, man. I'm on the site right now, Jet. I'm on the OpenSea.
Okay. Um, do you see it by any chance?
No.
Okay, I have it right here.
What's the name of the coin?
Um, it should be
Or
101st
it's not a
version
coin.
of free JA.
Okay,
I
let
can
me
send it to you. I can send it to you by email.
let me okay. For this one. But you can send by email. Okay. Those in here.
All right.
Yeah, like you said, there's like a coin that shows. There's a token that's like linked to like the specific work.
Yeah, here it is. I just sent it to you by email.
Okay.
And I'm going to click on it myself and it should show up. It should be on one of those platforms. But it's on it's on that one. It's on that one.
Okay, where is it?
Um
Top 50 venues in the world?
Nope, that's not it. It's crazy. Here, but I'm at it. I just sent the actual link to you.
Okay, I'm checking. Yeah. You got it. Okay, this is it. The Jazz for Peace ball.
Yeah, there it is. I don't know why it's not in that collection or showing up in that collection. It should be in that collection. Is strange.
Okay. Oh yeah, I went skiing before.
Okay, so you see that, right? So now, yeah, so that's it. So what happens is that's part of the recording, and that's a person at a ski lift just putting that famous quote. That's the famous quote that was in that article. You see it?
Right, right. I see that. Yeah.
Okay, and then if you clicked on that, you would hear music. If you clicked on that little sound thing, you would actually hear part of the free JA that I did. So I did a version of free JA for these musicians, okay?
Cool.
And then I put it up there, and then under the description, I documented what they are going through. You see it?
Yeah. The horrific video footage, including unknown whereabouts of former prime minister. Yeah, it's
Yeah, now go up a
limited
little higher and you
intelligence.
can yeah, see Trouble in Kenya? Click on that. This one. Yeah, click on that link and you'll see what I documented, what they sent me. If you click on that link.
Yeah, I gotta drop it in this. I gotta drop it into this one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's open in another tab, but it doesn't load in the tab that
I
would
see.
take
Okay. Oh, I hope it loads.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, look at that shit. I mean, look at that.
So yeah, that's pretty.
This
brutal.
is what they sent me. So I documented it on the blockchain in an NFT.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Pretty wild.
And then I contacted a separate musician to verify it in Kenya. And I showed him all this stuff, and he said, yes, that's been going on here. Tete. See that guy, Tete? So that's the second musician. The first musician, to believe it or not, the first musician is a bass player named Danger. That's his name. That's all I know, Danger. And he plays bass. And he played a concert with me, and he contacted me. The last time I was there, he arranged the band for me. And he played bass. We had a drummer and a sax player. And he's the one who contacted me. This guy, Tete, was an opening act for me at another concert in Africa, in Kenya. And I contacted him to verify everything that Danger said before I put everything up there. You see what I mean?
Pretty wild, man.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you, Elf, is that this is a legitimate purpose for an NFT. Now, I don't know if anybody else uses this idea, but I saw that it was a great way to document something, and then nobody can, you know what I mean? Nobody can do anything about it.
Yeah, it's a much deeper, cause for the images than to have these kinds of pre-rendered video game like clip art. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty cool. So it's an interesting take, and I'm glad to see it. I didn't really know that this was part of the whole package, so it's actually quite.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I'd been there on two separate occasions. One time was, I've been to Kenya numerous times, but the time that I met Tete, who's actually, believe it or not, he is exploring an artist grant from Jazz for Peace to get a grant as an artist. But he appeared at my concert as my opening act from the organization that I was helping. And he was the opening act for one of the events. So I knew him separately. Then another time I went to Kenya to help another organization. That other guy, Danger, was the bass player in my band. So Danger contacted me. Tete verified the images and information, and I was able to put it up on the blockchain as, hey, listen, we want, to try and help these guys get publicity and awareness for what is going on. Because, a lot of times when something's going on, the Western media doesn't report it. You know that, right? In fact,
actually, all the media doesn't report it. Yeah.
Right. And you know what? They don't even report what's going on right here in our country. Or when they do report it, they spin it in such a bizarre way that it's not even representative of what actually is going on, let alone something all the way over there in Nairobi.
They only feature commercial interests. Yeah. All the news is really right. Yeah. Because someone has something to gain specifically from that news being aired. Everything else that benefits you, right? You're not buying ads. So
right. And
they're not really, yeah.
And because of that, you have a broken system. You have a system where the rich get richer and richer and richer, okay? And the poor get poorer and poorer and poorer until you reach a point we're at now, which is called, believe it or not, you're going to hear this word. It's called maximum saturation. It's a saturation point because they keep having to add debt to the system. And now we're at $33 trillion. Did you know that? The United States debt?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
33 trillion. But check this out. It was 32 trillion only a few months ago, and it was 1 trillion only a few years ago. So, in other words, it's an exponential function. So, what I'm telling you is the system is about to blow up because
Yeah.
you have to feed a higher and higher amount to get the same result
So
because of
how does blockchain survive when the system when all the electricity blows up?
well, the blockchain is not tied to the economic system. Do you know what I mean? It has no tie. You know, the blockchain doesn't borrow money from the Federal Reserve.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole internet could go down. I mean, if the entire internet go down, I would assume there would not be a blockchain either.
Well, yeah, or a forking could occur, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about all that stuff. All I know is that, you know, right now, I noticed that there was a blockchain for me to be able to get awareness for these people in Kenya using this platform. If the opportunity arises where somebody says, hey,
Yeah.
you know, what's this you're talking about in Kenya?
What's
Boom,
yeah.
there's the link. There's the information. There is the, you know, that's when it was put on the blockchain, all that stuff. And it's all in one place. You see what I
How
mean?
how much does it cost to create one of these things?
I'll be honest with you. That there is Polygon. So there are no Ethereum fees when you when you buy it or sell it or when you transform it.
What
I
if I did it
don't
on the Ethereum though?
Well, on Ethereum, there's only a fee if you transmit ownership. That's where there's money involved.
But okay, so how much is it? Okay, but when I create it, right, then I can create a permanent copy and there's no fee for that.
I don't believe so. I don't recall paying fees for that.
So I wait a minute. So I can just create data, right, and force that onto the blockchain. Like people would try to break that at that just to be funny. You know what I mean? They would overload the system with junk data.
I
You know
don't
what I mean?
think you can overload it. I think
And
it's
fix it to
infinite.
crap.
Yeah, but I think it's an infinite situation. I mean,
The blockchain has to process it, and that's part of the right. The blockchain part of that's the blockchain has a cost as it grows bigger and bigger, and as the ledger grows, it has to be taken care of and maintained.
well, it's something to look into. I mean, I wouldn't be the person that could give you the answers. I mean, I think it's a great question. I would love to know the answer to it. I would definitely love to know the answer to that. But I wouldn't be able to tell you that I wouldn't know the answer myself.
That's fair. Okay. All right. Cool, man. All
Yeah,
right. So yeah, I appreciate. Is there anything else really? I have quite a lot to digest.
you do.
On that.
The
Yeah,
only thing I would say, yeah, the only thing else I would tell you is that
I'm definitely applying for that grant though, because I have an event coming up. I think probably in October. So definitely want to do Jazz for Peace with.
well,
Love to do that.
here's the thing I want to tell you, okay? You want to have your event confirmed as many weeks or months as possible before the event actually takes place, because what we're doing right now is our motto is very simple: help us plant the roots so we can grow your empowerment tree. So the roots of the tree are those VIPs who help us confirm the event at no cost to you. Do you follow me?
Okay.
All right. So with the event should be confirmed before we grow the branches. You can't get sponsors without a confirmed event. You can't get publicity without a confirmed event. You can't go to the media and say, hey, write about this event that may or may not happen. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah, we're looking to book National Action Network. We might be able to get that. Yeah, I just got their. I heard they've been using the space for other stuff, so we just
Right,
got to
but you
connect
want to
with it.
have a confirmed
Yeah,
event.
we're gonna get it confirmed. Yeah, get it
Well,
confirmed.
that's what I'm telling you. You'd want to see, you don't want to spend, listen, everyone slips on the same banana peel with Jazz for Peace. Everybody. They spend all this time getting the event confirmed, then there's no time to grow the tree. And by a miracle, it's still successful. That's not the best way to do it. The right way to do it is confirm the event as quickly as possible, completing those easy steps A, B, and C, and
What's a
then
good
have
amount
this.
of time to have before the event? Like maybe 2 months, 1 month, 3 months.
Yeah, 1 month, 2 month, 3 months. I mean, we've had organizations that have a lot of fundraising knowledge, and they'll say, "Hey, we want to have an event next March. How fast can we confirm it with you now so we can, spend all that time making it successful?" And I say, "You can go through these easy steps, and confirm it. In fact, they could pre-purchase the VIP tickets and confirm the event in 2 seconds. This is just a way that we don't rule out someone just because they're poor. You know what I mean? If someone has no money at all, they can have just they are just as viable to have an event with Jazz for Peace as if they had $1 million. It doesn't
Okay.
matter because we have the easy ABC steps that you can do with absolutely nothing.
The model to really build it up to $5.
Right. But
Yeah,
what some people will do that have fundraising,
I
they have
looked at that.
fundraising experience, they'll be like, you know what? We know what we're doing, Rick. Do you mind if we just pre-purchase these VIP tickets? Yes, go ahead. Do it. Now it's done. Now we start working on the sponsors and all that. So, it's up to the individual. But, we have this so that we don't rule out. There's nothing I hate to see worse than, oh, we're helping people, but you're too poor to be helped. What kind of
Haha.
craziness is that, right?
Yeah, that's pretty
And a
funny.
lot of them are like that. They're like, well, you don't qualify. You don't qualify because you need help. You need too much help. You need too much help to qualify. How is that philanthropic? But what I do want to say
Good
is
point. Yeah.
those people that can't confirm their event in 2 seconds, like the Red Cross, those are the ones that drag their feet on the roots, and there's no time to grow the branches.
Okay. Well, I'll look more into this. I will be applying for the grant though,
Okay.
and yes, and I'll try to look to schedule it further out. Then I think we had talked about
Yeah,
maybe October.
let us use our expertise to try to help you make your event as
I appreciate that.
successful
Yeah,
as possible.
I will.
Let us do our best
I want to
because
succeed. Hell yeah,
your success is our success.
appreciate that. I'm with it, man. I'm down. All right, cool. So I'll be back in
Great.
contact, man. And thank you for coming on. And thanks for making. I feel a lot better about the NFTs after how you explained them. I thought it was actually cool the way that you're using them to capture activist data. And
Right.
yeah. So
Hey,
that's
thanks for giving
yeah.
me the opportunity because very few people, I'll talk to somebody wants to talk about, but so nobody ever chooses this, so I don't get to talk about it. So I appreciate the opportunity to clarify. Very happy to do so, and I'll look forward to seeing this. We'll share it with our people as well.
Thank you so much.
All right, my pleasure.
Have a good one. Thank you. I just hit end stream.